Good morning, friends. This is a booty day. Welcome to Bar Fitness with Miss Stephanie and Miss D. You can have your weights in your hands. Again, for our warm up, if you're using them. And you also, if you've got resistance loops, you're gonna want your resistance loops today. You can have your weighted vest if you want it. I forgot to drink my Energize before my workout, so I will not be using a weighted vest. If anybody's ever wondering why I'm 37 and using a weighted vest, it's because Energize. That's why. Can't do it if I don't have the Energize. What else have I got over here? Hydration. Make sure you're hydrating. And if you use albuterol, make sure you use albuterol before your workout. We're doing this without music like always, so that you can play your own music at home. We're gonna go to the edge of our mat and take a big deep breath up and come back into full plank, and then you can come forward into these lunges. And then when we finish our lunges, we're gonna turn those into a little booty lift thing. Come down to your knees. You're gonna work in plank. You can work in plank like Miss Desiree is working, or you can come to knee plank and do this exercise. But either way, you are lifting one supporting leg. So I'm straightening one, and then I'm lifting up and down. Pulsing, keeping my lower back long and my abdominals engaged. Really, I should have doubled this mat, even though I've got both of them under here today. 16 pulses on each leg. Pay attention to your placement as you go along. I just caught myself moving back into what was basically all fours, which is still a good booty challenge, but it's not nearly as challenging from a core standpoint as being in knee plank. Both knees together, press back over your hips. Whew. And just remember something. I'm gonna try an experiment today. Will it stay like that? Good, good, that's good. This is gonna be a fun video today when we figure this out. This is what happens. We got some feedback from some of the students that are using our videos to try some in landscape, which doesn't always treat you right if you're watching on a mobile device. So that's why I say we're gonna try this. But if you're using a computer, which a lot of us are because now we're at home full time, then this gives you less black screen. Find your weights if you want them. Come down into second position plie and hold these arms out in second, making sure that they are slightly in front of your body. And then in this pulse, you can add a heel raise. Make sure that you're engaging your hamstrings and your gluteal muscles when you do that. Ballerinas have this ability to not. We can just use our quad all day long, and we don't want to do that. Now we're pulsing in a lunge. Whew. Coming center again. And coming through. This is like our warm-up movement, but you can add the contraction as you come into the lunge if you like that. come center. I'm gonna put my weights down, but you don't have to. My body needs me to put my weights down. We're gonna do that exercise that we do that is second position grand plie. Then you lift your toes, bring your feet parallel, fitness squat. Make sure that you're lifting your toes and changing the position of your legs rotated and your hips every single time. Everything needs to track outward for turnout. Everything needs to track inward for, or not inward, but parallel. We don't want you to do, this is a great exercise, 2 more, but we don't want you to have a below the knee injury. Little fitness people call this a little hamstring curl, and I like that better. Some bar fitness folks call this an attitude, and it is like a parallel attitude, but it's not at all what we mean when ballet students say that. Here, back and forth. You can add a squat here and hamstring curl, which I really like. Whew. And then we're gonna move on to that exercise that we did last week when we did Ruby, which I am gonna get my weights for again. We're using chair pose and second position. So you hit second, come to the edge of your mat, row. Second, chair pose, row. Second, chair pose, row. And of course, the lower you can get, the more intense this will be. Last week, I believe I had you jump into the second position, which is more difficult cardiovascularly, but it does give you a little break. It gives your leg muscles a little break. Staying low takes the break away. So this is less intense in terms of cardio, but I'm not giving myself a break. Come center for a moment. I'm gonna put down my weights, and now we are gonna do that exercise in the cardio way. You can see Miss Desiree is jumping from chair pose, second, chair pose, second, chair pose. And we showed you last week in a video that you can do that in a full circle if you like. But if you do that, keep in mind that that's one side, so then you need to do, you're gonna do full circles, do 4 full circles one direction, and then go the other way, so that you're leading with the other side of your body. Whew. Now, you can see we're moving out into second. You can do this as step out in second and back into first. You can leave it there, weights or no weights. You can do releves like Miss Desiree was just showing. Right? Or you can do jumps like she was just showing. You can jump, 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 jump. Or you can stop landing in first. You can hold second and jump heels together. Heels, 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 heels. Whew. But whatever you do 16 of those. And then join us here in this little fake-a-basque shape that isn't something you need for ballet practice, but is something really great in terms of physical fitness and cross training, because it helps you turn on your gluteal muscles. Whew. And pause. Oh, man. I love this exercise. The ones where we have to go across the body are not my favorite. But am I right that now we're gonna do, yeah. This is a deadlift essentially, or if you're familiar with yoga, it's like lowering and standing up out of warrior 3. So you start in a parallel position. I've got my weights in my hands, and I am gonna lift my right leg out into like a parallel derriere tendu, and then I'm gonna lower forward into horizontal with the floor. And then I need to squeeze the gluteal muscles and hamstrings of my left leg back there to pull down towards the knee and lift me up. That's what a deadlift is pulling right there, pull. I want you to have that visual of pulling up. I want you to do 8 on each leg. Now, again, in a ballet setting, we would be asking you to keep your knee straight. But if you really want to engage, switch legs. If you really want to engage those muscles we're trying to target, soften your knee. Don't do a full bend, but soften your knee. Now I'm going to do the other leg, extending. Ooh, it's good, it's good. I'm going to start over again. Remember, you can use your bar even if I don't. You also don't have to use it when I do. It depends on what the focus is. Right now, I want to focus on really fatiguing my gluteal and hamstring muscles that I use in parallel here. I focused on balance yesterday when the goal was core. So today I'm not going to focus on that. Instead, I'm going to go until I can't go anymore. Whew. Pause. I thought we were done, Miss Desiree. Are there more?
Now we're on the other side.
Oh.
So, the one that comes up, what you just did is you still, then you come.
Oh, you come in. Oh, I do love that one. Okay, so go back to your first leg, like Miss Desiree just said, and when you come out to Warrior 3, and Warrior 3 hands, you can do hands at heart, or you can do arms extended. But when you come back in, draw it up and extend. All of this work is in parallel. So I reach out, up, and in. And I just love this because it forces you right there. You have to engage your core every single time. And we sometimes make the mistake of here in a one-legged, what are those called? I just forgot what they were called. I said them earlier. Deadlift. In a one-legged deadlift, it's really easy to forget and let go of your core. It also really blitzes out your leg because you're not putting it down at all. Here, passe, extension. Here, passe, extension. So, do 8 of the weighted deadlifts, and then do 8 of these on each leg. And if you want to burn your booty a bit more, do all 16 of what you're doing on one leg before you switch legs, instead of doing what I just did, which was right, left, or left, right, left, right. Oh, I like this. This is like a little bit like a wood chopper. You can hold your weights for this, but I'm not going to. What we want you to do is come down to an atlas, lunge here, and then spread out here, out here. So again, we're working parallel, turned out, parallel, turned out, parallel, turned out. And you guessed it, you can jump that. Well, in here you can. Woo! It is hard to then hit. You got to hit your turned out position in the air, land in parallel, hit turn out in the air, parallel. If you would like something to test how much turnout you really have when you don't have any friction with the floor, that exercise will do it for you. Whew. Do 16 of those in some fashion or another, and then join us at the bar.
The challenge on that one is to not use the bar and have your weights on the ground. And balance on your weights, and then do your leg lifts.
Oh.
Yeah, she have her weights.
And turn out parallel.
Put your weights up.
Like a little stand.
Yeah, like a little stand, and then do your.
All right, so I'm gonna go do some turned out arabesque booty lifts at the bar. But if you want to do what our teacher's doing, right? In a parallel arabesque position, woo, which of course would be sitting up. Then pencher your weight forward, put your weights on the ground. Or that's actually not that bad. Did she actually put her weights on the ground like this?
Yes, she did.
Okay, never mind. I'm gonna stay here. This is fine.
Okay.
It sounded really scary. Then you do
It actually looks really scary.
your little booty lifts here. It's kind of fun because my weights aren't flat on the bottom. They are a little bit wobbly, which is interesting from a core standpoint. I should have done my weaker leg first though, just so we're clear. Here we are, now on the other side. I'm doing my lifts. Oh. This is much less stable than if I just put my hands on the ground, which is what normally we would be asked to do. Whew. So 16 pulses on both legs. That was tough. Okay, then I didn't need a bar afterward. Let's see.
So then
Bring
you
this-
get your squat.
Bring this back here.
So there's 16 of those.
Oh, we're into there? Okay.
Yeah, and then each
Now we're
side.
into this one. Here's that fake arabesque position again. We call this fake arabesque because your leg is behind you in that you're turning your hips and belly button into like essentially the corner of your yoga mat, but it is not straight in line behind your hip like I would want it to be if we were taking a class. But having found that position that's neither second nor derriere, but is sort of halfway in between, it happens to be this really beautiful place to squeeze your gluteus medius and other rotator muscles there. Whew. Here, so you do 16 of these ones, and then you pulse, do 8 pulses on one leg, go to the other one, do 8 pulses on that leg. Then find your resistance bands. I'm gonna get my yellow one, which is the least harsh, because this is kind of like a dancey thing we're about to do in here. We don't want it to be so harsh that I can't take a step. Were we in parallel second or turned out second? With that exercise you just did. Oh, thank you. You come down into a squat, lengthen your lower back, lift up through your abdominal muscles, and then adduct your legs open and close just a little bit. Okay, just a little bit. Tiny pulses. I offer this to you because it is a thing. It is not my favorite. It could encourage bad below the knee technique. So if you have issues with below the knee support, like if you get talked to by your teachers about instep a lot or turn out a lot, just skip this one. Okay? Or lay on the ground and tabletop and open your legs, your knees open and closed. Now I'm gonna keep my resistance band on because I can see that Miss Desiree is doing a little arabesque thing at the bar. Okay. Oh. What was that? Can you tell me? Are we doing, oh, they're lifts. Oh, I do not use these weights. I'm gonna demonstrate how you use the lift. Oh, we gotta do that one first. I like that one
is
better.
first, and then
Okay, oh, I'm
then
gonna
you do
start
your
mine.
then you do your tiny pulses
Okay.
back.
And then we have to lift our straight knee,
Yeah.
straight leg, which is not my favorite. Okay, I'm gonna use my weaker leg first here. If you're using your weights, they come out here, and you're going pull into the knee, extend out in a low arabesque. I'm gonna work in parallel because that is what turns on my booty and rotator muscles for me. I'm trying to strengthen the ones that we don't use in ballet class, so the one that when I do, other side, use them in ballet class, I'm stronger. Do 8 of these on each side. parallel attitude, you pulse for 8. I'm gonna put my weights down now. Having my weights is causing me to let go of my core, which is not what we want. Other side, here. I'm still in parallel. I'm reminding my own body to be in parallel. It's not its favorite place, but it is where it's weak. And building strength there will make me stronger in my ballet class. Whew. It's not a good day to have forgotten my sweat towel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm like, what have I got on the floor here? Phew. So you can see Miss Desiree is doing the other leg. I switched early for both legs and did both extensions on both sides and then both attitudes on both sides, but I have to go back here for long-legged arabesque lifts. Ooh. I'm reminding myself to be in parallel. And I'm reminding myself that I need to use a small range of motion in order to get at the muscles I'm actually focused on today. So make sure you do 8 of those on both sides. So you have 24 reps that you can do. You can do them all on one leg at one time if you would like. You only need to alternate like this with me if you need to alternate because you need a break. Woo! Oh. I don't know if I did it on that side, but I've got to stop there because I can't get my lower back to stop trying to help me.
Exactly.
And it's cramping. And that is where you need to stop. Whew. I can also take this off to make things a little bit easier so that my lower back will let my core and glutes handle it. How are we still on this? Is Desiree, you're a monster.
You pulse and then you lift again.
Okay, so that's an option. You can do, what's 8 more than 24? You can do 32 after your attitudes. All right,
So you
you do the
alternate
list,
between those two.
and then you pulse. But for today, we're gonna say that we're finished with that and come center to your mat again in a nice big second.
Because that can be a huge insult to your lower back if it starts to grab in the beginning.
Mhm.
You're not doing anything any differently. So
Yeah, and
if that's
then,
not going to work, then maybe alternate sides
Then-
or stretch during that time.
it's a good suggestion.
So then the next thing that
Is that
is
turned
an
out?
option is keeping your resistance band and doing essentially jumping
Okay.
jacks with your resistance band.
So if you've got your resistance band at home, you can start in first. And you. Sorry, folks, we got interrupted by a phone call. You can open and close here. Oh,
That's all nice.
there we go. Gosh. So do 16 of either jump open, jump close, hitting second and first each time, or as we did earlier, you can stay in second and click together, click together, click together. Whew, 6 times. Now come down into, this makes me laugh every time because this position in the 80s used to be called double swastika or something horrible like that. Now we call it seated stag or double attitude or pretzel, that sort of thing. But if you are a full-grown adult, you want your front knee, the knee of your front leg in line with the front of your mat, and you want the knee of your back leg laying on the back edge of your mat. And then you lift, I've got my left leg back here, you lift your left leg up, I'm gonna turn. And lift this one up. I did a long talk last week when we did booty about this very thing. You sometimes have to find this with a lift, like a physical lift, like I've just done here, a tactile lift, and then you can sometimes find it yourself. And like a lot of things, you've got more range of motion, then you've got strength. So you use your strength and you lift it. You might be accessing all of your muscles right now and lifting all of them, and they may not be, the leg may not be coming off the mat, and that is okay. We talked about this last week too. If you need more space in order to lift that leg, then move your core over to the side. If you can stay sitting up tall, that's harder and that's the goal, okay? So you hold one arm out and you lift and lower. First we're just lifting the foot. So my knee is in contact with the floor and I'm lifting. Lift. And then I'm gonna do 8 of those. And then I'm gonna keep my foot up. I'm gonna try and keep my foot up. And then I'm gonna lift my knee as well. So I'm trying to keep, as I look in the mirror and look in the camera, I'm trying to keep my foot higher, higher than my knee. I may have to flex just in order to not let go. And I do 8 pulses, like that. What did I miss? Oh, I actually do like that one.
I love it.
I like that one.
Yes.
My body is good at that one. It is not good at the first 2 things I did.
Then when you're done, it's the,
Come up into side plank with the same leg you've been working?
yes.
Thank you. Okay, so you take your pretzel, you stretch it out. Now you're in like a fake basque, right? Knee to elbow, knee to elbow. Drawing the belly button back towards the spine as you pull that forward. So do 8 of those. Woo. Woo. And then press up into like a 1 knee side plank. I've already forgotten. Do I pulse here? Do I pull it in and out?
You do 16
hold it.
and then the burn zone.
16 of these little, this is the burn zone already I did, but I missed, what's this
You
supposed to
can
do?
do toe tap. And
Oh, toe tap. Okay, so
like
16
bigger-
of toe
bigger
lift.
range of motion. and
Thank
then
you.
burn zone.
Then stay up and pulse for 16. Okay, woo! Other side. Thank goodness for that. Oh, I talked about this last week on my booty video, but then on the second side I have to fold my mat because the muscles of the leg I just used are so amped up that it feels like I'm trying to roll them out while working the other side, which I'm not capable of dealing with. So I'm gonna get in my pretzel. This is my good side. I'm gonna find that piriformis muscle that is the one that we're isolating here. Whew. And then I'm gonna lift and lower that leg. Keeping your abdominals lifted here. Your body does something here where it tries to press out in an effort to brace itself, and then you actually end up pressing out against your abdominal wall instead of drawing it in, but you'll get more energy from drawing it in than doing that press out and hold your breath and bear it thing your body wants to do. Keep your foot up, lift the knee, and pulse. Whew. 8 times. Again, trying to keep that foot high above the knee. And then reach and pull. Reach and pull. And exactly where this goes on your body, how far back it is behind you or beside you, can be up to you. What you want to do is you want to find the place. I'm finding a place where I can keep my low back long and my abdominals engaged, but I can also squeeze my gluteals every time. And then I get to press up finally, thank goodness for that. And then you're gonna do 16 of these lifts here. And then you're gonna hold it up and do 16 tiny pulses. Whew. Oh, I should have looked at the next thing that we were doing before I referred to that in shorthand and pretended I was gonna move on. I don't wanna do those that Miss Desiree is doing. Oh my goodness.
Well, it's short-lived, don't worry.
That's good.
Just a little bit of side to side though too.
I do not actually mind the side to side stuff. So we did this yesterday. You can bring your toes together on your knees so that your legs are turned out from the hips, or you can do this in parallel. Don't do this with your toes together in the back if it causes pressure on your knees, and then you're keeping your torso straight and leaning back. Little leans to turn on your hip flexors and your abdominal muscles. and your gluteal muscles, your hamstring muscles.
That's just a good stretch.
Ooh. Oh, this is our last thing, and then we get to stretch back and forth. And then you can in your up position here, was she just switching like hip back and forth?
Yeah.
Okay, which at first you're like, so am I just like having a sassy hip here? Is this what's happening? But very, very quickly, if you move side to side like this, it really does start to burn your hamstrings and your gluteals, and for me, my hip flexors as well. So you can do 16 of these right to left. It also turns on my lower abdominals because I have to keep it all steady and not arch through my lower back. And rest. Oh my goodness. Was she trying to make us do this stretch? Like back here?
And then get,
Yeah, I know.
and
So
then she can get on her, she can bend her arms, lay her arms.
if that is possible for you,
I would
Or
love
this
to
is a-
see that.
we
Send
would,
it
yeah.
as a video.
Please
for
send
us,
it in this
please.
video. We'd like to see it. Was she down on her forearms?
Yes.
Okay. So I won't be doing that. I'm actually having to tent my hands to stay here. Now, it's true. This is a really intense quadricep stretch. I'm not sure that I've ever done this before. Oh, that's really. Oh, look, Kenley can do it. Come here, Kenley. Come do it on camera. So it's possible, you big kids, if you're like, I don't think that is possible, Miss Stephanie. Kenley can do it. There she is. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh no,
keep
here,
on
flip
doing
it. There you go.
Oh,
There you go.
that's how she does it.
She took. Oh, I don't think that would help me. I don't think.
I don't know.
Even if I started back here. All right, now I want to know, but I really don't
Oh
think
my
so.
God.
No, there's absolutely no way.
That does not help at all.
That didn't help me at all. Nope. Definitely not cheating. Oh my goodness. All right, so you've heard it here first, folks. Kenley Murat can do it, so I want to see who else can do it. I'm going to assign this one on purpose instead of telling kids next week that they can choose one. I'm going to say, no, you have to do the booty day from April 2nd. And at the end, the assignment is send me a video or a photo of you doing the thing that Miss Desiree and I can't do, and that Kenley can yes do. Oh. I wonder if that's got a name. Whew.
Another challenge. Look up what that is actually called.
That's right. Finish by
Okay.
stretching out anything that you need to stretch out, and then you made it through booty day. Great job.